Welcome to Beyond the Business, the podcast for high-achieving men who've built extraordinary careers and are now asking, what comes after the exit? Whether you've sold the company, stepped out of the spotlight, or are simply planning your next move, this show is for the man ready to live with intention. We explore how to thrive in your 60s, 70s, and beyond through candid conversations on health, relationships, reinvention, legacy, and purpose. Because when the business card is gone, you're not done. You're just getting started. This is Beyond the Business. What comes after the exit?
The CEO's sleep deficit. Undoing years of overdrive. You built your company on discipline. You ran on 4 hours of sleep because hustle was your edge. And you won. But here's the paradox. Now that you've exited, your body refuses to rest. You can't turn off the engine you over-revved for decades. And it's not just about feeling tired, it's about the slow erosion of memory, clarity, and vitality that follows. The silent toll of overdrive. Executives are notorious for trading sleep for success. Research from Harvard shows that nearly 43% of leaders admit to chronic sleep deprivation during their peak years. That edge may have fueled your career, but it left a backlog of biological debt. Here's the catch. Once you sell the company, the pace changes, but your nervous system doesn't. Years of operating in survival mode rewired your brain and hormones. Cortisol stays high. Melatonin stays low. Even with no late-night board calls, your body acts as if you're still in the fight. The result? Restless nights. Early morning waking. Afternoon naps that feel like survival. And when your labs come back normal, the system tells you this is just aging. But it's not aging, it's the residue of overdrive. What really happens to a CEO brain under sleep deficit? Let's get into the science. When you consistently run on less than 6 hours of sleep, memory consolidation breaks down. The hippocampus can't store short-term experiences into long-term memory. That's why you may forget names mid-conversation. 2, decision fatigue multiplies. Prefrontal cortex activity slows, so even simple choices feel harder. 3, hormones derail. Sleep regulates testosterone, thyroid, and growth hormone. Poor sleep means poor recovery, faster aging, and a sluggish metabolism. 4, cortisol hijacks the system. Elevated stress hormones at night keep your brain wired, body restless, and heart rate elevated, like you're stuck in permanent boardroom battle. And here's the kicker, sleep debt is cumulative. A decade of shortcuts doesn't reset just because you retired. Your nervous system needs reprogramming, not just a dark room and a lavender candle. The myth of this is just aging. I can't tell you how many men I meet who tell me, Steve, I guess this is just part of getting older. No, that's the greatest lie in healthcare. Normalizing fatigue, brain fog, and 3 a.m. wake-ups as aging is dangerous. Research proves otherwise. When sleep is restored, cognitive function, mood, and physical vitality all rebound, even in your 60s and 70s. Your doctor may look at a surface-level lab and say you're fine, but we've seen men who felt decades younger once we looked deeper at hormones, micronutrients, inflammation markers, and biofeedback on sleep cycles. The data told the truth. They weren't aging. They were stuck in a broken system.
If you're a man over 60, let me ask you this. When was the last time you got a truly personalized look at your health? Not a rushed physical. Not a "you're fine" from a 5-minute appointment. I mean real data, real insight into what's driving your energy, your sleep, your focus, and your future. That's exactly what the Tiger Health Assessment delivers. It's a concierge-level diagnostic experience designed specifically for high-performing men in this next season of life. You'll walk away with a complete health blueprint and a clear path to more energy, more clarity, and more years doing what you love. Visit tigerhealthassessment.com and take the first step toward your strongest chapter yet. Now back to the episode.
Programming the CEO operating system. Think of your nervous system like the operating system of your company. You wouldn't keep a company running on outdated, glitching software. Yet most retired CEOs are trying to run their bodies on a fried OS. At Tiger, here's how we reboot it. 1. Comprehensive lab and sleep data. Beyond standard labs, we measure cortisol rhythms, melatonin cycles, HRV, oxygen saturation, and inflammatory markers. Because what gets measured gets managed. 2. Precision interventions. If cortisol spikes at night, we implement light exposure protocols, breath work, or microdosing melatonin. If testosterone is flat, we correct it through targeted strategies, not blanket prescriptions. 3. Sleep architecture coaching. We teach you how to reprogram circadian rhythms with timing of food, light, exercise, and biofeedback tools like the Oura Ring. 4. Accountability and iteration. Data without follow-through is just trivia. Every quarter, you meet with your physician and coach to refine your sleep blueprint. The result? Executives who once thought 6 hours was a win now wake up after 7 to 8 hours with clarity they haven't felt in decades. The legacy angle: why sleep fuels what matters most. Here's the deeper truth. This isn't just about you getting better sleep. It's about what sleep makes possible. More energy to travel with your spouse without crashing by 3 p.m. More clarity to engage with your grandkids, sharp, present, memorable. More vitality to protect your independence and legacy, so no one else makes decisions for you. When you sleep well, your brain defrags, your body repairs, your hormones reset, and suddenly, you're not just existing after exit, you're leading a new chapter with full power. Case study story. Let me tell you about Greg, 63, a former CEO who came to us after selling his firm. He said, "Steve, I've built wealth, but I can't remember the last time I felt rested. I wake up at 3:15 every night, and by noon I feel like I'm pushing through mud." Labs from his doctor? Normal. Sleep study? Inconclusive. But when we ran Tiger's assessment, we uncovered cortisol spiking 3 times higher than normal at midnight, low magnesium and B12 impacting deep sleep stages, oxygen desaturation episodes invisible on his basic checkup. 3 months into his personalized plan, Greg sent me this: "Steve, I just played 18 holes with my son without a nap. I feel sharper at 63 than I did at 50. That's not aging in reverse. It's what happens when you undo years of overdrive with precision." Shifting the mindset. Here's the mindset shift. You didn't retire to decline. You retired to thrive. Sleep isn't a luxury. It's the cornerstone of clarity, longevity, and leadership in this next chapter. If you wouldn't run your business on bad numbers, why run your body on guesswork? Standard labs are like looking at a balance sheet without cash flow. They miss the full picture. And that's why men like you, high-achieving, legacy-driven, end up frustrated, tired, and overlooked. The Tiger Solution. This is why we built the Tiger Health Assessment, your $497 starting point. It's not a surface-level physical. It's a deep diagnostic that includes a comprehensive lab panel 70-plus biomarkers, a one-on-one consult with a Tiger physician, a personalized health optimization blueprint, and for those ready to go deeper, the Tiger Activate Longevity Program provides a year-long, physician-led system that restores sleep, sharpens cognition, and protects your vitality for the decade ahead. This isn't about adding more supplements or quick fixes. It's about strategic, data-driven optimization that helps you reclaim what Overdrive stole. You mastered your business. Now it's time to master your health. Don't wait for a crisis. Start by uncovering the truth about your sleep, your hormones, and your long-term vitality. Book your Tiger Health Assessment today, and let's build your blueprint for decades of strength, clarity, and impact. Because the best part of your story isn't behind you, it's still ahead. And it starts with finally getting the sleep your legacy deserves.
If today's conversation sparked something in you, share it with a fellow founder, leader, or friend who's navigating life after the exit. And if you're ready to design your next chapter with clarity, health, and purpose, this is just the beginning. Subscribe now, leave a review, and be sure to tune in next week as we explore what it means to thrive when the business card is gone. Until then, keep building a life that matters.